Hey guys, in this video I want to show you my build in progress Battlemage Cry with Firestorm and Flicker Strike. I'm progressing very slowly and it's gonna take more time for me to, well, improve this build, but right now it's in a state where I can kind of show it without being too ashamed. Also, it's very winter outside, so I apologize for the bad audio quality. I'm not having a lot of fun. I'm having pretty bad luck this league so far, but I don't really want to complain about it too much. However, one thing, I'm not entirely sure what's happening, but enemies seem very scary. Even in low tier maps, like in wide tier maps, enemies just do so much damage and can kill me so fast. And it's not like I have no defensive layers. Other than over 5k HP, I do have a attack block and spell block. I do have fortify, so I should be feeling a bit tankier. But I'm just dying so fast sometimes. In fact, I died 50 times now, and I only did like what, 5 yellow tier maps. So the idea for this Battlemage Cry is a war cry. It's not like people confuse it with Battlemage, but it's completely different thing. Battlemage Cry exerts your 5 attacks, and when you attack without multi-strike, don't use multi-strike. When you attack, you proc the linked spell that is linked to Battlemage Cry. So I decided to use Firestorm because it just looks cool. People ask why Firestorm. It just looks cool, and you know I like picking things that look cool rather than do the most damage. And I chose Flicker Strike because I'm not really doing damage with Flicker Strike. Even if I 6-link Flicker Strike, it wouldn't really do much damage. And I'm not really sustaining Flicker Strike 100% of the time. So I basically exert 6 attacks, Flicker Strike, proc all the stuff, and then dash out. And Flicker Strike just delivers those spells very fast with the Battlemage Cry. If you use like slow attacks like Consecrated Path, it's gonna attack very slowly, and you're gonna proc it once. Instead, I just want to do big burst, dash out, war cry again, Flicker Strike in, do big burst damage, and dash out. It's not really big damage, but it does have potential to do some damage. I wouldn't play it just with Battlemage Cry. I don't think that you can really sustain it. The cooldown on Battlemage Cry is, I believe, 8 seconds by default. For me, it is currently 4.21 second cooldown, and it feels kind of fine. And like I said, I cannot sustain Flicker Strike 100% of the time, so I do have another skill. Well, initially I was using Chain Hook because it has 120 base attack speed, so it is pretty fast. Actually, one of the fastest along with Flicker Strike. But Chain Hook just feels sometimes weird, so I am using Frenzy skill, which is a bit slower, but it also generates Frenzy charges, so it does give more damage and speed. The Battlemage Cry alone would not be enough, so to kind of bridge the gap between having no Battlemage Cry and doing no damage, and just having full damage from Battlemage Cry, I am using Rippling Sword, which does proc Lightning Cascade. And I believe it got buffed. I'm not sure, I haven't seen the patch notes, this weapon in the patch notes. Maybe it was buffed before, but you can proc it 4 times per second now. It used to be 2 procs per second, but now it's 0.25 second cooldown. So, and the support gems inside the sword affect the skill, of course. The Storm Cascade does help me with the clear speed and single target, and when I'm out of Battlemage Cry procs, it still does damage and it can still kill enemies. In fact, sometimes when you perform Flicker Strike, it triggers the sword on attack, not on hit. So you proc it before you actually hit with Flicker Strike, which is not good sometimes, because you kill enemies and then you just, oh, there's no enemy, where do I flicker? I'm just gonna stand here and wait. And it sometimes feels a bit clunky. But once you get past that and you get used to it, it feels pretty fine for me. Now the sword is pretty slow, so I had to get quite a bit of attack speed, but the good thing is, since I don't really need Frenzy or Flicker Strike to do damage, I can link it with utility things like additional accuracy and faster attacks and fortify, or maybe blind or something like that. And this is, by the way, on a 5-link. I'm just not having luck at all, so I can't get a 6-link right now. And I still need to replace quite a lot of items. I still have not done Uber Lab. I still need 1 trial for Uber Lab. This is my second character, by the way. I'm level 84. And I did like only a couple yellow tier maps. I've been stuck in white tier maps. Not because I don't have high tier maps, but because the enemies seem very scary for some reason. I don't know what's happening. Maybe my build is just not Not ready yet, but it is what it is. But I actually like this build. It feels very unique and almost like Cosprey's Malice build, but worse. But also in some cases easier to build, but in other cases a lot clunkier. I'm recording this second time, so I'm not sure what exactly I already mentioned in this recording, because I deleted the first recording because I was rambling too much. And now I'm rambling again. So you know what, I'm just gonna show my items, include path of building, import code in the video description if you want to kind of see this build. I did actually want to use Expedition End, which does not give me damage, but however I am critting, and Expedition End would allow my, well, all hits to freeze enemies, which could maybe give me a good defensive layer, but I was not able to color it properly and 5-link it properly, so I'm still stuck with my current. Right, this is by the way Inquisitor, going full crit, getting Battlemage. I have like 62% crit chance just in the hideout without power charges. So Rippling Forts, you can get an upgraded version, but it's gonna be the same damage basically. Blizzard Crown works very well unless you want Devouring Diadem, which would give you Eldritch Battery. Did I mention about Eldritch Battery? I probably did not. I am using Eldritch Battery to solve my mana issues, and I did travel it on the passive skill tree, which took away from some life, but I gotta solve mana issues somehow. So I am using Eldritch Battery, and I crafted this mod on a belt, which you can also craft on the body armor. It does help sustain Eldritch Battery. Without this mod, it was basically draining my mana, and what was draining my mana was Assassin's Mark Ring, because it triggers level 12 Assassin's Mark when you hit a rare or unique enemy. It does have a short cooldown, but each time you trigger it and reapply to the same enemy, for example, you still spend mana, and I believe it costs 23 mana. It drains mana pretty fast. If you use non-hex curse on a ring, like let's say Elemental Weakness or like Frostbite on hit, it's not gonna cost mana. At least that's what I was told. Only marks cost mana. But because this is Inquisitor and I am ignoring enemy resistances, by the way, another cool thing in a moment, because I'm ignoring enemy resistances, I can't really use any other good curse, so Assassin's Mark works. Well, it actually does give the most damage. Now the good thing about Inquisitor, I believe, and I'm not 100% sure, but it allows me to bypass enemies' immunities. So let's say I'm doing mostly fire damage with my meteors. If enemies have like fire immunity, it doesn't matter to me because I just ignore enemy resistances. Because what I believe is happening, it sets enemies resistances to 100%. I'm not sure if you can lower it or penetrate with other things. Maybe you can, but you would still do a very small amount of damage, probably. But with Inquisitor, just don't care. Enemies fire resistance, don't care. I ignore it. There was a case where I could not kill enemies. I was doing some damage, but I just couldn't kill them until someone else told me that it also had 100% block for attacks and 100% block for spells, which I believe sets it to 85. So sometimes I was doing damage, but other times I wasn't. Other items, a shield. I was thinking about +1 fire shield, but then that +1 to fire gems would not give damage to the storm cascade, so I went with the spell damage and then increased damage per attack block, which does give damage to, well, to everything. On amulet, I need a leech somewhere. Fire leech amulet with arcane swiftness anointment, which does give me elemental ailment avoidance, which does help a bit, and also spell damage quite a lot. Belt already showed. Gloves. First I actually had different gloves. I had these gloves with flat fire damage against burning enemies, but after I checked some numbers, I realized that I was only proccing sword twice a second, and I can't proc it 4 times. So I decided to get more attack speed to see how it feels, and it does feel better. I would definitely recommend to go for as much attack speed as possible, even if you're gonna run out of extended attacks faster. But it's still gonna feel smoother. You're gonna be able to dash in and dash out faster, and execute your attacks faster, and just in general feel smoother. Elder's Gloves with faster attack support gem inside it, so I can like get a 5-link easily. You could also go for CDR belt and boots. I did not go for that. I don't really have much currency left. I have 70 gears left and no fusings. Right now it is what it is. Expeditions End, like already mentioned, but it would not give me damage, but maybe it could give me enough sort of ability. Maybe I wouldn't even need like block nodes, but these block nodes are great, and glancing blows is fine. It still gives you mitigation, And these nodes are great because it does give you a lot of resistances, and it like I have a lot of res, but if I'm getting cursed with elemental weakness, it still helps to have like massively overcapped resistances, because you don't always have curse removal. For flash, I do have curse removal. I also picked up Amested flash because I don't really have very good Chaos res. So and poison is just extremely dangerous. Like I don't even know. Poison is just super dangerous. So you definitely want either Chaos res or some kind of poison immunity. For the jewels, nothing too special. Just either spell damage. You will also want life, obviously. As always, flare damage, whatever you can get. Oh my god, I'm still using this. Oh, now everything breaks. Oh crap, that's not good. That's not good. Okay, I'm gonna have to replace that sometime. I did go all the way here. This anointment is pretty expensive, so I did not want to spend money on that, and instead like anointed other thing. And while traveling here, I may actually need to grab these to get more accuracy and just in general crit chance. But I wanted that for exert an additional attack, because if I'm focusing on Battlemage, I want to be able to exert as many attacks as possible, because when you're not attacking and when you have to run away to exert attacks, that's when you're not doing damage, and that's kind of overall DPS loss if you don't have this. So it is a bit long travel, and getting exerted attacks deal increased damage does nothing for you, because your Flicker Strike or Frenzy doesn't really do much damage. So it's a bit wasted, but you still get cool Warcry CDR. I also picked up these Warcry nodes, very important. It would be nice to also pick up that, because I got 2 Warcries. It would allow me to get like 20% life with 2 Warcries very fast. Warcry speed is already fast enough. I believe it is 0.41 second use time, so 2 Warcries takes less than a second, basically 0.8 seconds. I'm going to include Pathful Building Import Code in the description. From Uberlab, obviously I'm gonna get that. And the rest, I think I'm just gonna pick life. What's the boss? And jewel, yeah, and then get better jewels. So let me know what is your experience with this league. How do you feel about? I don't mind losing the damage, but the monster damage seems so scary. I don't know. Is it just me, or is everyone just having issues with monsters, or like do you just go full damage and not worry about tanking, or do you just go massive tankiness? I don't know. I'm not playing hardcore, so I'm not experienced with how to survive things. Even if I have been playing this game for many years, still I guess I just have like a very casual mindset. Just play for fun, make builds, and smack some enemies. If they smack you, just smack them faster. And yeah, so for now, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.